next we have My Mother is a Trick by Matthew Wettergreen.
Here's another story about a mother and a child, although this one's not so sweet. So as a parent, you would wonder whether your child is going to be raised right, with being a boy raised by two sisters. Like my son, he might be coddled, but unfortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, we're total hard asses. And while I would comfort him when he hurt, I wouldn't let him milk it. My son was not going to grow up to be a pussy. So we teach him to deflect criticism and taunts with wit and sharp tongue. And we teach him to take a ragging with good humor, but we also adore pranks. And personally, I'm the one that is the best at pranks. And my friends quake with the fear of me being the prankster. And my boy, Connor, although being 6, is still a beautiful target. So I had an R.L. Stine book. And this cover of this R.L. Stine book had this terrifying hologram of his face, and when he turned it, it turned into a skull, and you can imagine the 6-year-old's horror. And he loved that I would read to him from it, but he was terrified of the cover. And if it was ever out, he would flip it over immediately, cover down. So one evening, my sister, who is actually in the audience, actually noticed that the book was thrown behind a bookshelf, and she picked it up and set it on the kitchen chair. Knowing that at 5:30 a.m. he would wake up in the dark, come down, wait for his breakfast, and find this book, and be terrified and probably piss himself. And we laughed, of course, because it's funny. Probably. So we forgot about the book until the next evening, and nothing happened. We hadn't heard about it. But again, someone found the book behind a bookshelf. So we put it on the chair again. And we repeated this gag again and again and again with absolutely no effect from him. And we had no idea. So the 4th day, he was very good at searching websites and looking at websites. So on the front page of his computer, I put a link, cartoonnetwork.com. And of course, when he sat down to use the computer that day, he went to the cartoonnetwork.com link, and there was this giant picture of this skull, this hologram. And he screeched, and then he got really angry. And he said, "It's not funny," and I informed him that he was wrong. Around this time, I also made an email account that was r.l.stein@yahoo.com, and I sent him an email letting him know that I was R.L. Stine, and I was very impressed that he was reading my books, and I appreciated it. So he so he asked, did you write this? He's starting to catch on, right? I said, what? No. Okay. R.L. Stine, that's amazing. And so he turned back to the computer and he immediately wrote an email like, I would like an autograph. And again, we're taking the book and we're putting it on the chair every morning, and he's not saying anything. So we finally take him to his ADHD psychotherapist, and before we take him in to his ADHD, he asked what we're up to, what we've been up to. So we tell him everything that we're doing, and including like how proud we are of this prank, because I personally am really good at pranks, and I can't even separate the fact that I'm doing this to my child and how proud I really am. And he's like, well, what is your child doing? And absolutely nothing. We can't even believe it. We're just surprised. Maybe you can figure it out. So sure enough, he talks to our son, and afterwards he tells us we need to have a private word. And he says, well, your kid thinks the book's possessed. And he's been putting it behind the bookshelf every night because he thinks the book's possessed, and he's trying to deal with it. And he also might have told us that if we didn't want to keep sending him to him, we should stop it. But, so we did apologize, but we also said, we tried to play it off. We said, if there's something that's possessed, you should probably have told us. All in all, though, we're very proud that Mama's boy didn't grow up to be a pussy. Thank you.